This is Michael Passmore, Senior Minister of Central Christian Church in downtown San Antonio. I am speaking from the lectionary reading on the 30th of August. The summer is winding down. There is actually some school taking place in some of our school districts roundabout in person as well as the online. I really admire the parents of these young children and the teachers who have tried to make such an adjustment in lesson planning and lesson preparation. It is wonderful how much caring and consideration has gone to the education of our children. Today's scripture lesson comes from Matthew's Gospel, the 16th chapter. I'm only going to be reading a portion of our lectionary. It is verses 21 through 23. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took Jesus and began to rebuke him, saying, "God forbid, Lord, this shall never happen to you." But Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not on the side of God, but of men." It is quite presumptuous that Simon Peter, right on the heels of his great good confession of faith, would try to rebuke Jesus. I don't think he was thinking. He was responding out of his emotions, saying, "God forbid this. Don't let it happen, Jesus." And Jesus rebuked him right back, calling him one of the harshest things you can call another human being, Satan. Satan is a word that we have taken in evolution inside of the Judeo-Christian faith we share together. I have an old book by Frederick Buechner. You may have seen it, Peculiar Treasures. In it, he tells the story of Satan/Lucifer. This is how he writes about it. Lucifer means light giver, or morning star, or son of dawn. And ever since the Middle Ages, he has been one of the aliases that the devil goes by, along with things like Satan, Old Nick, Old Scratch, the Old Harry, and so forth. Thus, the Bible's blacklist villain is known by one of the Bible's loveliest names, Lucifer. "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning," the prophet Isaiah says, Isaiah 14:12. The point being that it was while he was still at the height of the angel family when Lucifer fell. He was in the heavenly choir, maybe, singing Bach on the Sabbath. He was right up there, and then one day when he was up there, he began to think to himself, well, I've come this far. How much more can I go? With the emphasis, Frederick Buechner says, on the first person singular, I. When the self is elevated above the glory, there will be problems every time. It happened to Simon Peter right on the heels, right after his great confession, "You are the Christ, the Son of God." He tries to stop the Christ from being Christ. And Jesus rebukes him. And then Jesus calls on all of the disciples to find a life of sacrifice and giving and caring. We are at our best when we eliminate the I of self and yield it to the presence of Jesus Christ. Thank you for letting me share with you today.